Let's get started with creating a background for our text. So grab the Create Rectangles and Squares tool, just click and drag like this, then I'll go back to the Select and Transform tool and change the width to 1920 pixels and the height to 1080 pixels. Then I'll position this over here. Then I'm going to select another color and I'm going to pick a nice green color, for example this one. Then I'll press Ctrl D to duplicate this object. Click on this option to start the fill and stroke tool. Then I'll go make sure we don't have a stroke here. For the fill, I'm going to change, I'm on the wheel as you can see here, and change it just by dragging this to white. Then go ahead and click on this option over here, which will create a radial gradient. And I'm also going to change the opacity to around 20. Something like this. Next, I want to start the Objects dialog. So going to the Object menu, clicking on the Objects dialog here, and this should pop up as a floating dialog like this, but I want to dock it here because we are going to use it often. And just grab it over here and try to place it over here. And we can rename the different pieces that we have here. So let's do this. Let's rename this to I'm going to rename it BG, which will stand for background, and this will be BG white. This will just make sure that I know what is what here and I can easily select them. And also, because we're going to be creating our text over this background, I'm going to just click on these padlocks here to lock these, and now I cannot select them and move them accidentally when I'm creating and adjusting the text. The next step is to create our text. So grabbing the text tool, clicking here, and I'm going to type road. Then I'm going to go back to the Select and Transform tool, and as you can see I'm using the default font here. I'm not going to change the font. Go back to the Select and Transform tool, and I'm going to click on this padlock to keep the aspect ratio and change the width to 1765 pixels and position the text over here. Before I start editing the text further, I don't want to forget to rename it because we are going to have more than one text objects here. We want to rename this to something that will allow us to know which is what, and I'm going to just call it this main text. This way I'll know that this piece is this and I can select it anytime I want to. And the next step will be, I don't want this to be a completely black color, so I'm going to change it to 90% gray from over here. Then I'll go ahead to the stroke option, choose a flat color, change it to white, and again I don't want it to be completely white, so I'm going to select one of these here and let's say 7.5% gray. Make sure I hold down the Shift key so I can apply it to the stroke. Click on it. So again, if you click on a color here, without holding the Shift key, you will apply the color to the fill. But if you click with the Shift key, you will apply it to the stroke. Now going to the stroke style here, make sure we are in pixels, and I'm going to change it to 5, maybe a little bit more, 5.1. The next step will be to duplicate this text object. So with the text selected, Ctrl D to make a duplicate, and let's move it around here and change the stroke for this to 80% gray. So to this color, again holding down the Shift key, I'm going to click on this color, and we're not going to need a fill, so going to the fill, removing it. The stroke style we are going to change to 18 pixels. We're also going to rename this to text outline, and we're going to change the position of this, move it below our main text. Actually, let's call this a gray outline because text outline is not very accurate. So let's just call it gray outline. Then selecting it again, Control D to duplicate it, and let's move it over here. And this one we are going to call white outline. And we're going to move it below the main text and below the gray outline. So using this option, it should come over here. And we're going to change the width here of the stroke style to 40 and change the color to white. Now I know at this point things are starting to get a little bit confusing. That's why we have our object dialog here to keep track of what's what, and things are going to make sense in a moment when I bring all of the objects together. But we need to create one more text object. So Control D with the selected white object to duplicate it. Go to the stroke style. We will leave the width to 40 pixels, but we're going to change the color to red color. So just click somewhere around here and change it to a red color. And going back to the stroke style, click on this dashes option and choosing this one over here. Next, I want to change the position of this object, but first let's rename it to red outline and move it between the gray and white outline. This is where we want this to be. Next, with the select and transform tool, make sure I have all the objects selected and start the align and distribute tool from this option, and just use these two options to align all of the objects. Then I can make sure I have them selected and move them over here. Something that you need to be aware of when using this dashes option is that it's not going to always be perfect. For example, over here you can see we have some weird effect. I'm going to zoom in a little bit holding down the control key. You can see how this looks. So we can try to fix this first by going to the objects here, selecting the red outline from the menu, and this will select it over here as well. Then we can use this option over here to adjust the pattern offset. So I'm watching this over here and just clicking to adjust it a little bit, and now it disappeared, and I think this looks pretty good. I'm not going to mess around with it anymore. Just know that this option is here to adjust these dashes. The final thing we need to add is the broken white lines on our road. So I'm going to select the main text, press Ctrl D to duplicate this, then move this over here. And we are not going to need the fill, so go to the fill tab and remove it. Next, let's go to the stroke tab and change to 8 pixels the width of the stroke, and also change this dashes over here to this option. Just click on it. Next, I'm go ahead and select this tool and use this option, which will convert the selected object to a path, or we can go to the path menu and choose the object to path option. Then I'll go to the path menu again and choose the break apart option. Once I click this, I'm going to use the ungroup option, and now you see each letter here became individual, so we can select it and move it around. I'll start with the D letter here. The next thing I'll do is, again with this selected, going to the path menu and choosing the break apart option. This will further break apart this object into two individual objects. So basically what we did is we used the object to path option, ungroup, and the break apart options to get access to each individual outline here, so we can edit it individually. And now I'm just going to move this over here over the letter D, and holding down the shift and the control key, just adjust it like this. And this is going to take some adjusting to make sure it fits the road. So just click and drag one of the arrows here until you're happy with the result. and I think this looks good. Next I'm going to move to the letter O. Again I need to use the path break apart option. Then selecting this object, moving it over here, holding down the shift and control key, adjusting the size a little bit, just experimenting until it fits right with our road. Click away to see how this looks. Maybe on the top here adjust it a little further. Next I'm going to grab this letter, path, break apart this object here. Again going through the same procedure. And by the way, our line here looks a little thick, so we can adjust this back to 8 pixels, selecting it, going to the stroke style. So once we resize it, it's a good idea to adjust it to 8 pixels, going to this as well and to this one. I see we have a little problem here. We're going to fix this later. Our main purpose right now is to make sure the white line appears in the middle of the road. Now let's do the A letter. Go to the path, break apart, so we gain access to this. Make it bigger. Actually, a little smaller here. And try to adjust this. This is going to be the most difficult one to adjust. Try to get it in the middle of the road. Let's change it to 8 pixels just to see how this is going to look. A little bit over here. Click away to see how it looks. Select it again, change it to 8 pixels, and I'm going to leave it like this for now. We're going to go back to it. I'm not going to be using any of these, so I can just select them and delete them with the delete key so they don't get in our way. The next thing I'll do is choose the Bezier tool, zoom in a little bit, click, hold down the control key to get a straight line like this. Click over here, enter key to apply, then change the width to 8 pixels, change the color to white, go to stroke style here and change the dashes to again this option. Click away to see what we have here, and let's leave it like this. Again, we are going to adjust it later, and we need to do the letter A the same way with the Bezier tool. Click, hold down here the Bezier tool, and actually I'm going to undo this with the escape key. You can see here that this is very crooked. Instead of doing it this way, I'm going to delete this object and just use the Bezier tool here on the entire letter A. Just click here in the middle, then click over here, then click over here, then down here, then click enter to apply. Change the stroke to 8 pixels, change the color to white, back to the stroke, and adding this dashes here, and one more Bezier line over here. Just click, enter key, 8 pixels, changing to the same dashes and making sure we have white color. And let's click away to see what's going on here. Actually, I missed one over here. So again, Bezier tool, click, enter key, white color, 8 pixels, dashes changing to these. Let's zoom out to see what we have. So let's now start adjusting these, and the letter O here, I think it looks pretty good. We don't need to further adjust this. So moving to the D here, if I click away to see it better, the only problem that I see is here these two lines are too close to each other. So let's select it again and try to adjust this by using this option. Move it down a little to something like this. And this looks pretty good. I'm just going to leave it like this. We can experiment further, just know that this goes up to about 10. So it's not going to get any better than this. So around this looks good. Now let's check out the letter R here, and this object here in the corner we have a little bit of a problem. So let's use this option again, and I think this fixed it. Zooming in a little bit, selecting again, and I think this looks much better now. Now notice that this is not exactly in the straight line, so we can either grab this or this, but I'd rather move this a little bit. So grab it, move it a little bit, and again we need to adjust it. Let's make sure we don't have the snapping on, so we can do whatever we want. Grab this arrow, adjust it a little bit like this, and make sure we have exactly 8 pixels, so everything is looks the same across the text. Again, this moved a little, and now I think it looks pretty good. We don't have to change it anymore. Let's finish the letter A here, zooming in, selecting this first, clicking, and I think something like this looks good. We have this dash over here at the top. This looks good. I'm not going to mess around with it anymore. I'm looking at this letter here, D, and I don't like this big gap between these two dashes. And because this offset here doesn't give us much control, we can go further by using another option on our node tool here. Using this option will allow us to gain access to each individual dash. So with the object selected, make sure we select this option, then go to the path menu, break apart, and let's see now if we have access to each object. Yes. So I can go over here, zoom in, and just move this a little bit and move this a little bit like this, so we don't have such a big gap between these two dashes here. So this is a way to gain access even further and adjust your dashes to your liking. Just select the object, go to the node tool, use this option, then path, break apart, and you will be able to select each individual dash. So I hope this text effect was interesting, and if it was, like the video. If you're new to my tutorials, make sure to subscribe, visit my channel for a lot more tutorials, visit my GIMP tutorials channel for photo editing tutorials, links in the description of the video. So that's it for this one. Bye for now.